Aloha, this is lesson 278 from A Course in Miracles with Hope Johnson. If I am bound, my Father is not free. If I accept that I am prisoner within a body, in a world in which all things that seem to live appear to die, then is my Father prisoner with me. And this do I believe. When I maintain the laws the world obeys, must I obey. The frailties and the sins which I perceive are real and cannot be escaped. If I am bound in any way, I do not know my Father nor myself, and I am lost to all reality, for truth is free, and what is bound is not a part of truth. Father, I ask for nothing but the truth. I have had many foolish thoughts about myself and my creation, and have brought a dream of fear into my mind. Today I would not dream. I choose the way to you instead of madness and instead of fear. For truth is safe, and only love is sure. And that concludes the text. If I am bound, my Father is not free. So this thought is an untangling of mistaken identity. It's meant to return our mind to the indivisibility of love. We're not separate from God. We're not separate from the Creator. The Creator and the creation are one. Indivisible love. This is the unity of the Creator and the creation. If I am bound, my Father is not free. This is not a theological or metaphysical statement. It's true that the Son cannot suffer without projecting suffering onto the Father. The creation cannot suffer without projecting suffering onto the Creator. Look at that. If God, if love created you free, but you maintain that you're bound, that you're imprisoned, then either you're mistaken or God is flawed. It's one or the other. This is really the fulcrum of the lesson. You can't be right about being bound and have God be a loving creator. In your mind, you're projecting that he's not. He's a fearful God. He's a shamed God. He's an imprisoned God in your mind. If you believe in any way that you're imprisoned by the world, and this includes you're imprisoned by your own conditioning. You cannot be imprisoned by past conditioning without projecting that onto God, without projecting that God is weak, frail, unloving even. Only one of these can be true when you believe you're bound. Either you're mistaken or God is weak. See that? Your concept of yourself reveals what concept you hold of God. It says, then is my Father prisoner with me. Every time you believe a thought that says, I'm unworthy, you're saying, so is God. I'm a product of my conditioning. You're making God fearful. See, because your mind knows that you're one with God. Your mind knows that you're just making this up. So when you're believing, listening, basically you're listening to an ego thought that says something that's not true. In your dream, you're imagining this is true about God. And whenever you accept any kind of limitation for yourself, you're unconsciously diminishing the love that made you. You're just forgetting on purpose. You're in charge of conscious and unconscious as well. Just forgetting on purpose. So you might ask yourself, to help release you from this, what God have I made that believes I belong imprisoned in a prison of a body? What kind of God did I make? Because you can change your mind about this. The body isn't your prison unless you say so. It says, if I accept that I am prisoner within a body. The body's not your enemy. It's totally neutral. But it becomes your prison when you believe that you're in it. And you're bound by it. And you're bound by the past that it has seen. And you're bound by the timeline that it seems to be on. You're not confined to your nervous system either, or your story of decay and death. Yourself, your being, was not born with skin. And it's not going to die with the skin either. So this is about worldly laws versus divine laws. It says, when I maintain the laws, the world obeys. Pain, aging, loss, conflict, retribution, separation. These are all laws that are conditional. They're conditional upon your belief only. The laws of God, love, innocence, wholeness, eternal being, those are not conditional. They just get covered up when you're believing in worldly laws. So notice which laws you're obeying today. Do they reflect who you truly are? Do you want to keep them? To be bound is basically to forget. It says, if I am bound in any way, I do not know. This is not physical bondage. Don't even focus on anything physical. Okay? That stuff will change when your mind changes. It's just perceptual. You're not being punished for believing you're bound. You're not in trouble for believing that you're bound. You're just noticing that you're believing what isn't real. It's not a sin. It's just simple forgetfulness. And because it's simple forgetfulness, it could be reversed gently. Truth is always free. It says, what is bound is not a part of truth. Truth doesn't restrict. It always releases. Okay, that's false religion that tries to restrict you. Truth does not restrict. It's always releasing your mind. Love doesn't require anything. It just recognizes the falsity of anything that denies love. Let this be sort of like a sorting mechanism for you. Guarding your thoughts, watching your thoughts, noticing what you say, noticing what thoughts you're listening to. Does this thought bind me or free me? That's the question. That's the sorting mechanism. And just notice, does it bind me or free me? You're always choosing one or the other. So recognize what's going on. The only real request is truth. It says, I ask for nothing but the truth. You don't need any protection. You don't need to achieve anything. You don't need any conflict. You don't need to set anyone straight. You don't need anything in the world. You only need the truth. Because the truth is the only thing that includes all that's real and excludes everything that hurts you. So no more dreaming of fear. It says, I would not dream. Fear gets released like waking up from a bad dream. That's why it says miracles are natural for you, not in this lesson, but other places in the Course. This is a miracle. It's just waking from a bad dream. Continually waking, a mind awakening. This shift in perception is never violent. It's quiet. It's like the sun rising in the morning. You're not wrong for dreaming. That's why it's not a violent, wake up. But you're just gently invited to wake. If you believe you're bound, you forgot who your source is. You forgot your loving God. So you could choose truth instead of fear. Whenever anxiety arises, let this be like a compass for you. I can choose the truth instead of fear. I can stop projecting my forgetfulness onto my source, onto God, and just recognize that I am projecting. Really, when you recognize you're projecting, it's like the rest is automatic. That's my perception. I mean, when I just recognize, oh, I'm projecting, the rest is automatic. It's just if I get into any kind of self-judgment or something like that, then the projecting is continued, isn't it? Because if I'm projecting something on myself, there it is again. I'm making that out to be about God. So when you begin this day for this practice, you might make an intention to remember that you cannot be bound unless God is bound. There's no way I could be bound unless God is bound too. Release the belief when it arises. Consciously release that belief. And when distress or any kind of limitations appear, you might ask, would love really bind me here? Or is this something that I made? Is this a dream that I made up? Then take a nice breath and return to the truth. God is not bound. You make him out to be bound in your mind whenever you bind yourself. And in the evening, you might reflect, where did I confuse myself? Where did I make myself bound today? Where did I make my identity tied to the body or to the world? What dream of fear did I uphold today? And give yourself another chance to let it dissolve. It's not to make you wrong. This is a really gentle observation. Give yourself another chance to let it dissolve right now in the presence of truth. Believing you're bound is not humility. This is self-forgetting. This is what the world is going through. And this is the temptation of the world to make you believe that you're not who you are. You set it up like that. Don't hold the world accountable. Have fun with it. That's what I do. I have fun with it. It's like, an opportunity to demonstrate to my own mind that I'm not bound to anything. I would free God in my mind so I could be free. I'm one with God. I'm not honoring my Creator by pretending like I'm subject to anything in the world. I only honor Him by remembering that I was never separate and I'm just making this shit up. Okay? So, twice today, AM, PM, and every hour, every glorious hour. And whenever it seems like you are subject to any limitations, the past, your conditioning, someone else's behavior, the government, whatever it seems to be, if I am bound, my Father is not free. And have a beautiful remembrance. I love you.